Welcome on into another episode of the Healthy Discussion Show. Today we're going to cover the Philadelphia Lear jet crashed, which I don't understand why these planes are just falling out the skies nowadays. We just had one in Potomac about 2 days ago. Now we have this one. Like, what's next? Not to induce fear or anything along that nature, right? Only thing I ask for you to do is subscribe, like, and share these videos. Leave those comments down below as well. Hit the bell notification and hit the AirTech EMF protector. I'm going to pin that to the top of the chat. Also, along with the Learjet accident that happened, right? We're also going to talk about the MLK files that I got from Spliff DTV. I give credit when credit's due. The sourcing is going to be inside of the description as well. And we're going to talk about Trump's tariff that today is actually February 1st. And tariffs have been activated for Canada, China, and I forget which other place, but I'll let you guys know. For definitely for Canada, Canada, Mexico, and China. Let's get to it. Grab your pots and pans. It's time to cook. Don't forget the spatula. Woo. Now, as you guys can see, I had a fair warning right there, just like this new channel did. This is not for fear. This is not for anything along that nature. This is graphic content, but this is what took place in Philadelphia yesterday. Airplane fell. You guys see that? The airplane fell from the sky. Now, were these pilots fresh? Were these pilots experienced? What was the condition? It was a small aircraft. What was the weight on the airplane? And so many different things that could be in effect, right? There's so many things that can be in effect. I'm gonna do an update on the story because it's fresh out the press, and people still don't know what's going on.
You know what happened?
A plane. One plane.
A plane?
Yeah.
A plane?
Yeah, plane.
Yo, a plane came down.
Yeah, one plane crashed. No. Oh my goodness, bro. Oh my God. It's crazy.
That's crazy. Let's just have a moment of silence, right? Let's have a moment of silence for the people that was on this airplane. coming down this Jet Lear plane that came down in Philadelphia. Let's have a moment of silence. If it ain't one thing, it's the next, right?
What exploded? What exploded? I don't know. What the?
So that's footage from that, right? That was graphic footage, like I say. It's not to scare anyone, but I just wanted you guys to see the footage, right? Leave your thoughts down below. Let me know what y'all speculate on what's happening with that. I'm gonna give you guys an update on that one immediately. Let's switch tempo because that one was definitely heavy. Let's switch tempo and let's go on to Trump. Let's go on to Trump and his tariffs and how y'all think that this will affect the United States of America. Also, how would this affect the stock market as well? Because it will affect it. Let's go.
Tariffs on Mexico, 25% tariffs on Canada, and a 10% tariff on China for the illegal fentanyl that they have sourced and allowed to distribute into our country, which has killed tens of millions of Americans. These are promises made and promises kept by the president. The president will be implementing tomorrow a 25% tariffs on Mexico, 25% tariffs on Canada, and a 10% tariff on China for the illegal fentanyl that they have sourced and allowed to distribute into our country, which has killed tens of millions of Americans. These are promises made and promises kept by the president. The president will be implementing tomorrow. I was just with the president in the Oval Office, and I can confirm that tomorrow, the February,
which is February 1st.
It all up, you can get to around $1 trillion a year of wealth from the United States transferred to a geopolitical adversary. It's insane.
Trump's tariffs could add 50 cents a gallon to gasoline, increase your produce costs to 60%, and increase the price of cars by $3,000 a car. That's according to the Council on Foreign Relations.
Starting today, Saturday, February 1st, Americans will get the privilege of paying more for their everyday goods, whether they want to or not. President Trump, in his infinite wisdom, has slapped a 25% tariff on imports from Canada and Mexico, plus a 10% one on China. The goal? To curb illegal immigration and stop fentanyl smuggling. Because, obviously, making your groceries and car parts more expensive is the most logical way to fight crime. Historically, tariffs haven't exactly been America's best friend. Remember Trump's last trade war? It cost U.S. consumers billions and didn't stop China from doing, well, anything. And let's not forget the Great Depression, a fun little event made worse by tariffs. But hey, who needs history when you've got gut feelings? If you're enjoying this financial roller coaster...
Yesterday, President Trump continued his campaign to undermine Canada. For the second time in a matter of days, he sat in his Oval Office and mused about tariffs on Canada. He says they're coming tomorrow. I wish Canada wasn't in this position. I wish we were working together to make Canada and the United States the richest, most successful, safest, and most secure two countries on the planet. But nobody's ever solved a problem by wishing it away. We have to play the hand we're dealt. If tariffs do in fact come tomorrow, the federal government needs to be ready to immediately implement a strong and forceful response, dollar for dollar, tariff for tariff. The federal government has my full support to hit back and hit back hard. Yesterday, President Trump continued his campaign.
So Canada ain't playing. They're going to hit back with a counter tariff act. And this is a part of the game. He's going to present his case. They're going to present their case. Hopefully they can come to a compromise, because at the end of the day, he's trying to make America great again. And you can't just make it great by continuing everything that's been going on. You have to stop things. You have to freeze things. You have to do anything along that nature to get America back on track. Would it be turbulence time before it gets smooth? Yes, that's just a part of it, right? Either that or we're going downhill.
Today is February 1st, and I just want to take this time out to wish everybody a happy Tariff Day from the United States to you. We have some guests that'll be celebrating with us. Mexico, Canada, China. Happy to have you here. We've had a long-lasting relationship. You know, we've had our ups and downs, but I think it's time now more than ever to really restore some order. Now, this is one of those holidays where it's not just a one-day thing. We're going to be celebrating for quite some time. But just because we're celebrating, I understand it's not perfect. A few things, if not all, could happen. One, you know, Americans, our price of goods could go up depending upon which industries and what goods are produced elsewhere. You know, our prices could go up. We could be affected negatively by this. Two, the government can make a lot more money, decreasing our deficit, which would relinquish our responsibility to other countries. The fact that we won't owe them either any money at all or as much money as we do. It's a possibility. Three, it could lead to Americans focusing more on American-produced products. I know it could take some time. That's a possibility as well. And there could be several other effects that I'm not mentioning. So I ask, how will you be celebrating this holiday?
Well said.
It's Tariff Saturday today. President Trump's tariffs are here. Who will pay the price? 25% Mexico, 25% Canada, 10% China. We have lowered the Canadian oil tariff from 25%, now 10%. President Trump hinted at Europe as well. Tariffs could be coming for steel, aluminum, copper, pharmaceuticals, and semiconductors.
Yeah, I got to remember that another president before him did the same thing. Look at the presidential. I'm going to find out which exact president, but they did this back in the day, and he just followed in suit, and it actually made America extremely profitable. Extremely profitable. In fact, I think they thrived so much back then, right? It may seem harsh now, but it's going to make sense later for the macroeconomics, right? It's not for the microeconomics, for the day-to-day people. For on a macro scale, it's definitely going to shave the deficit off. It's definitely going to incentivize to put more money inside your pocket, because now they're going to be having at least $5 trillion that they saved, right? Which means that they can allocate that in different ways to stimulate more and have a snowball effect.
Said the tariffs will bring back billions. Experts are saying cost will rise
Trillions.
on gas and oil from Canada, food, beer, electronics from Mexico, cars, lumber, aluminum from Canada. For Chinese imports, I mean, everything, but especially tech and clothing prices will jump. So far, the stock market is reacting negatively. The Canadian dollar and the Mexican peso has fallen. Our ally, Canada, said they are going to respond forcefully. They're already planning tariffs on Florida, orange juice, and more U.S. goods. Mexico says that tariffs will kill 400,000 U.S. jobs and raise prices for Americans. And China said it firmly opposes the tariffs and will retaliate soon. Where are we at with these tariffs, guys? Do you agree?
Happy Tariff Day, everyone. Today is Saturday, February 1st, and this is the day that our convicted felon president is supposed to start slapping massive tariffs on some of our biggest trading partners.
Start with the name
Are we
caller.
going to impose tariffs on the European Union? You want the truthful answer, or should I give you a political answer? Absolutely. Absolutely. The European Union has treated us so terribly. We are treated so badly. They don't take our cars. They don't take our farm products, essentially. They don't take almost anything. And we have a tremendous deficit with the European Union.
Makes sense to me.
What are the people in Canada and what are the people in Mexico saying about the tariffs that are starting today, February 1st? The people know it's going to affect them more than it's going to affect Americans. Why? because they export hundreds of billions of dollars into our country.
Exactly.
Mexico does over 700 billion, and then Canada does over 400, close to 500 sometimes, $billion that they actually export into America. We, on the other hand, it's very little that goes out. So they know it's going to affect them more. They're already saying, did you guys see that? That was weird. They're already saying in Canada that once the tariffs get slapped, companies are going to close. They got 600,000 people on unemployment, and they're expecting it to go to 1.2. They're going to double the unemployment rate. And that's why you hear, oh, he's going to do pandemic style stimulus checks.
No, he's not.
It's going to hurt them more than it's going to hurt us.
Exactly.
And Mexico, on the Mexico side, there's so many individuals that make all their money exporting into America, and they're the ones who are like saying, you know, it's going to hurt us 25% more than it hurts the Americans, because we send hundreds of billions of dollars into that country. They produce not to sell.
Y'all got to remember, America is the consumer, right? The consumer, yeah, we might face some type of high price, but we just not going to consume it or consume less of it, right? But as far as them, their business model is to send out to then make profit. That's not our business model. We don't make anything. So how would it affect us as much as it's going to affect the outsiders? You made a great point there.
So in Mexico, where they make peanuts, they produce to send into America. You guys have to understand too that those countries can't just say we're going to export to other countries. The American people spend money and they buy the stuff that comes from Mexico and the stuff that comes from Canada. If they send it to other countries,
they're not going to make
other countries produce that stuff already.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? The problem that we have in America is that all the companies moved out and they manufacture and then they ship into us to buy from them. They can't ship into other countries because in those countries, there's already companies there that are already doing what they do here to send to us. So this is why Trump's the genius. I'm not a genius. I just read and I understand how to explain it to people because I understand it for myself.
Macroeconomics.
So
me too.
The tariffs are not going to help us as much. Yes, prices might see an increase, but inflation is still bad in this country too. So they were going to go up regardless. We got to go up before we come down. The majority of America knows this. Go read the comments. They'll tell you. We knew it was going to go up. We voted for this. That's the majority of America speaking. Wanted to touch on the protesting because a lot of people say, why don't you just send the Border Patrol out there and pick them up? They're all Chicanos. They're all born here, but they're waving flags from a country that they don't even go to. I don't get it. I don't. I really don't. I see a lot of the comments saying that I've turned on my culture, my race. My whole family is American citizens. For the most part, they're all here in America. I'm going to pick my family before a country 100% of the time. I have no obligation to anybody that's a Latino. My only obligations are to my family.
Well said.
We're in America and we fucking love it. Yeah, so simple as that.
Well said. Well
President,
said.
is there anything China, Canada, and Mexico can do tonight to forestall your implementation of tariffs tomorrow?
No, nothing. Not right now, no.
Not a negotiating tool?
No, it's not. No, it's a pure economic. We have big deficits with, as you know, with all three of them. And in one case, they're sending massive amounts of fentanyl, killing hundreds of thousands of people a year with the fentanyl.
President, is there anything China, Canada, and Mexico?
Got to stand up for something.
So not only did China just kick our ass with the release of the AI technology, DeepSeek, right? But now they've responded to Trump's tariffs. And what have they done? They've reduced the amount of American imports into China by $690 billion. That's right, $690 billion.
So?
And now they're just simply sourcing those imports from other countries, most notably BRICS countries. You might want to look that up if you don't know what it is, right? Like, this is not going to end.
What's BRIC country? Brazil, Russia, India, and China, and the Saudi Arabians. That's what the BRICS stand for. Brazil, Russia, India, and China, and the Saudi Arabians. Also, that's why I tell people that cryptocurrency is so important, because they're actually trading amongst each other with cryptocurrencies, with technology, with something called blockchain. So I seen this to come, but at the end of the day, how much stuff does America import to China? Even if it's 69 million worth of stuff, how much stuff does China export to us? So let's just see who win this war.
Well, man, he's thrown 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico, and he's constantly on the news saying, we don't need anything from them. We don't need anything from them. Really? Do you have any idea the amount of stuff we get from Canada, the amount of stuff we get from Mexico, the amount of stuff we get from China, and how long it would take us to establish production warehouses in the United States to get that same stuff? Do you have any idea of that? No, you fucking don't, because you're stupid, dude. These countries are going to decimate.
But you have to stand for something at some point. Are we going to keep running the deficit up by continue doing the same program, being slave to these other countries, Mexico, as far as their exports, China, everything made in China? Like, when are we going to stand up and say, you know what? Let's try to create things that's actually made in the United States and see how that's going to go. Yes, it might cost more. Yes, it may be a process, but we have to start somewhere. 2025 is one hell of a start, and February 1st to me is one hell of a start.
America.
Trump's tariffs are here. Now, these are going to look really bad in the beginning. You're going to see the stock market crash. You're going to see the economy crash, but this is a really good thing. I'll explain why.
That's what I said.
I've said for months now that we're likely going to see the stock market crash in 2025 and that we're likely going to see the economy go into a recession in 2025. But I believe that Trump's policies are going to be good for our country. When you talk about the stock market, there's something called micro and macro. Micro means short-term, macro means long-term. I think that Trump's policies are going to be very good for the long-term.
Macro,
but he inherited something from Biden that you can't fix without causing some pain in the short term. We did so much.
That was well said. And I tell people that it's going to be a little bit of turbulence first. It's like, think about it. We all just hopped on the plane. And I hate to use plane for examples because they keep crashing, right? But we all, when you hop on the plane, what's the first thing that you face? When you lifting off and taking off, and you on that runway, right? It's a massive amount of force, right? And you have some form of turbulence coming on up. After you get through the clouds and all of that other stuff, right? What happens? Smooth sailing. So you have to do something to get something. You can't not do anything and expect something. And to me, Trump is doing something well calculated on a macroeconomics point of view, right? People may not agree with it because they don't understand economics. They from the micro, they down below. They don't understand, hey, you have to do this in order to get that. It's like playing chess. You have to see your moves a couple of steps ahead. You can't just have one move and think that's the almighty. There's many moves. So I definitely agree with what he's doing right here. Leave your thoughts down below. Let me know why you guys agree, and let me know why you guys disagree and how it's going to affect you and your pockets and everything else.
Damage with Bidenomics. There really is no way, with the size of inflation we went through, where interest rates are at right now,
right,
the yield inversion, all the different things we have going on in our economy, there is no way to go through and fix what we are dealing with without going through some pains.
Facts.
So while I'm saying, yes, you're likely going to see the market shaken up by this a bit, and yes, I think we're going into a recession, I do think there's going to be a lot of good that comes from this, and I think it's going to help all of us in the long run. Make sure you don't forget, if you're one of the ones that want income tax to go away, this is part of that process, and there is going to be some growing pains.
Well said. You can't get anything without doing something, right? This is the fight that we need to fight, right? So enough about that. Now let's go on, because I want to end this live in about 10-20 minutes. I don't want to do an extensive one today. Let's stop sharing that, and we're going to get into... I wanted to share the Malcolm X one on Spliff D TV. I left that in the source. Watch this.
That he said that he was going to release the FBI files. So RFK, JFK, and MLK.
Right.
Now,
we found the best property management software, which is Rent Ready. We had 2 house fires in a month.
This guy did a good job of explaining it. Because
he said that he was releasing the assassination files that the FBI was keeping classified. But within the FBI files are also the classified COINTEL profiles.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, rumors have been circulating for years, for decades, about MLK's extramarital affairs.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are wondering if Trump releases these files, will I be able to view King in the same light?
Man, fantastic question. That's why I tap in on Split D. So look, I'll say this. I always tell people, you know, as a man, all of my rich homies, they have a wife.
That's facts.
And in order to be considered elite as a man, especially a black man, you got to be known to be faithful to your wife.
That's right.
Secondly, when it comes to him releasing these files, Spliff D, you ever heard of a dead man switch?
No.
Okay, so a dead man switch is, in the case of my untimely demise, if I get took out, I'm not able to show up to my laptop and put in a password. If that password not put in every day, some very critical information will get leaked to all media platforms and everybody who need to have it. You feel me?
Yeah.
Now, we seen Trump at a campaign rally outdoors get shot, grazed in the ear, hit in the chest. The shooter had a 22 caliber AR-15. That's the type of firepower he was using. So from a long distance, the injuries he sustained, that match. Then when JFK got assassinated, the day of that event, his whole Secret Service team got swapped out. Same thing happened to Trump the day he got shot. Same thing. His whole Secret Service team got swapped out that day. And then he and his security team had to work with local law enforcement in Philadelphia. So if you pay attention to it, the snipers that they had to watch his ass was all local law enforcement, not Secret Service. Then at Mar-a-Lago on his property,
that's what I don't like about it. Seems to me it was a stage play, right? Because why would you not have the best of the best of the best of the best to protect the interests of the American people, which is obviously the political realm as far as them campaigning? Why was the best of the best with Biden instead of them splitting the teams up? Why is that? Ask yourself that question. That's why I say on this title that Trump life is actually still in danger no matter what. Now he just did a tariff on Mexico. He about to do one on Europe, China, and Canada. Oh, it's gonna hit different. Watch and see. But you got to go through turbulence before you get to clear skies.
Second time they had tried to assassinate him, the Secret Service agent seen the rifle sticking out the wood, out of the bushes, let off a whole clip and missed every shot. So for him to keep himself alive, he have to let the American people know that, look, the deep state Democrats who y'all been voting for all these years, they killed all of y'all heroes.
Whoa.
That's why he wants that information to come out. That's why Congress is trying to block it from coming out. That's why over the next 3 weeks, we're going to see congressional hearings about that, because Congress don't want that to come out. The deep state Democrats don't want that to come out. That's what that is about. In order to keep himself preserved and alive, he have to show the people who voted for him why you need to trust me and not who you previously was trusting, because these people kill the people who y'all idolize. They killed Malcolm X. This election was won by a landslide, right or wrong.
Facts.
Right.
So that means when we seen them people go down there and storm the Capitol, we haven't seen that since the 1600s. Does that mean they stole that election? He just 1,600 people from the January 6th event when they stormed the election. The problem is, bro, white people are the best group of killers we've ever seen. They can organize themselves in secret better than everybody else. This is why the Black Panthers, Huey P. Newton, was also killed by the FBI with the COINTELPRO. You have to be able to operate in secret in order to keep things established. So, because let's look at this. The NFAC, an all-black military coalition led by Grandmaster Jay. Grandmaster Jay was on to something.
Now, people have been voting for Democrats for so long, but the question would then be, what have the Democrats done for you in well over 50 to 60 to 70 years? But give fake promises and deliver nothing, and then allegedly wipe out all of your leaders. I wonder why. I wonder why. Leave your thoughts down below. Do you guys have an answer for that? If so, let me know.
He's in prison right now for 7 years. Soon as he went public, FBI agents infiltrated this organization, kept track on him. He looked through a scope on a shotgun to the roof of a parking garage, and they charged him with the same thing they charged the police officer who killed Breonna Stewart. He in prison. Wow. He in prison right now. Because do you remember in Houston when the black dude killed all the police officers?
Yeah.
They swept that under the rug. You don't hear nothing about that. Because the FBI was actively pursuing all black nationalist groups. Trump knows this. Trump appointed people to tell the FBI to stop targeting them. And the FBI was at risk of getting disbanded. That's why we seen all of the human trafficking arrests. That's why we seen Diddy locked up. That's why we seen the guy from Abercrombie and Fitch locked up. Because they were trying to save face. We just seen Trump cancel all of the federal loan programs, all of the federal disbursement programs, simply because they have an initiative to shrink down the government. Because there's a group of people in our government that is operating without congressional oversight. That same group tried to kill him. All facts.
Lead the way and be one of the first to own an Ineos Grand.
And I'm in agreement with all of that. You can look at that video. I put it in the source in the description. Go check the entire video out, right? I'm going to end the live like that. Let me know what you guys think about the Philadelphia jet the Lear jet crash. Also, let me know what you guys think about the tariffs that's been put on Mexico, Canada, and China. Europe is next. And then also let me know about what you think about MLK and what it is and why they are why Trump is declassifying certain documents to let the people know that the Democratic Party have been killing you guys main leaders since the beginning of time. On that note, peace, blessings, and love. Remember, positivity over negativity always. Don't forget to